Do you find yourself regularly falling into doom scroll sessions, coming out the other side feeling terrible? You had so many plans for the day, but in the end you got nothing done. Hey, I'm Noah Adams, and I love productivity. By learning how to attain healthier habits and apply productivity principles, I've managed to study full time, run two businesses, and work all at the same time. So today I want to share some of my favorite productivity tips and concepts with you so that you too can finally get out of the doom scroll spiral and start getting things done. So join me for this video, guys. Let's go. I want to start out by talking about goals, because if you don't have a direction you want to go in, if you don't have a vision that's driving you, there's no need to be productive. It doesn't make sense. So it's important to set goals, to set a clear direction where you want to end up at. And not all goals are built the same. What we're looking to get for you are SMART goals. And I'm not talking about goals with high IQ. I'm talking about specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound goals. So let me write that down for you real quick on the whiteboard so that you don't forget. And then we can break down every point to further understand what all of this is about. So as I was saying, your goals should be SMART, which stands for specific. A specific means that your goal should not be vague. It shouldn't be, I don't know, found a business or have a successful business. Or maybe if you're getting into content creation, that might be, get famous on TikTok or go viral on TikTok. The problem with these goals is that they're not specific. A proper goal will be something like getting 5,000 subscribers on YouTube, or if it's related to the gym, maybe losing 10 kilograms of fat, things like this. These are specific goals. And that also links back to the next point, which is measurable. Measurable means that there has to be some way to quantify your goal. So if you're looking for a certain amount of followers on social media, that's easy measurable. The same thing with weight loss or weight gain if you're trying to gain muscle. All of these things are measurable, and that's why they qualify as a SMART goal, and they will help you achieve that goal easier. So next we'll talk about achievable. Now, although it's very okay to be ambitious, you have to think about if the goal that you're trying to achieve is even achievable. Is it manageable? Are your skills good enough? Do you have the necessary skills to achieve that goal? The next point is relevant. Relevant simply means that the goal aligns with your entire vision, the goal aligns with your values, and the goal is bringing you forward to the person you want to be in the future. The last letter T stands for time bound. You have to give yourself a deadline, because if you have unlimited time to achieve something, you're always going to procrastinate and push it on. So make sure that you have a deadline for that goal, that it is time bound. Give yourself a specific amount of days or months or week to achieve that goal, and then stick to it. And guys, that's how SMART goals work. So let's move on to the next point. So now that we've set our SMART goals, we can dive into the fascinating world of habits. Habits are basically recurring tasks and activities that you do almost without thinking about them. And one book that really resonated with me was Atomic Habits by James Clear. You can either buy the book physically, get an e-copy, or even listen to it for free on Spotify as an ebook. And the core concept of the book is that small changes can really compound into remarkable transformations over time. So I just want to give you a few of the core concepts just to get you inspired to make good habits and start breaking down bad ones. So just some practical tips. The first one is that you should stack habits. So if you already brush your teeth in the mornings, for example, then immediately do your skincare routine after that, if that's something you want to start doing. Because by stacking these habits, doing them one after the other, you already have that routine. You're already in the right place. You're in the bathroom, you're in front of the sink. And now that makes it easier for you to add another habit to that stack. And then you can build yourself a morning routine that way and start doing those things that you wish you would do. There's also 4 key things you need to do to actually start doing habits almost automatically and without having to think about them. You have to make habits obvious, you got to make them attractive, you got to make them easy, and you got to make them satisfying. And these are what James Clear calls the 4 laws of behavior change. So that means you really got to design your environment to suit your habits and to conform to your habits. Making a habit obvious, for example, could mean laying out your gym bag right next to your bed so that in the morning it's the first thing you see and it's obvious that it's time to hit the gym. And the exact reverse applies to bad habits. So if you want to get rid of a bad habit, instead of making it easier, make it harder. So if you're having a problem with social media, put your phone into the next room. Just having that extra step of having to get up, walk over, pick up your phone, and bring it back might already be enough to make you think twice about picking it up and starting to scroll again. It's also really important to have visual cues and also track your habits. So I have a Notion habit tracker. I'll put a link down in the description for that. But you can also do this on paper. Just make sure that you're looking at how much you're getting done. That can also really motivate you to kind of like try to achieve that 100% fulfillment every single day. And the whole concept of habits is not to make radical changes overnight. It's that gradual process of becoming a better person step by step over time. Okay, so far we've set goals and we have a good habit system in place. The next productivity tip I have for you guys is managing tasks. So the best way to manage tasks is to have a centralized task managing system. And that's where an app like Notion really comes in handy. I'll also link down a task manager template in the description below. That's for free. Just go and grab it if you want to use it. There's also different apps to use. And of course, like always, you can use paper too. Whatever suits your own flows best, because we're trying to build a system here for you and it's supposed to fit you and your circumstances. But let's get back to tasks. So basically, you want to centralize everything you have to do in some sort of system. And from there, you can start prioritizing them. There's a system called the Eisenhower matrix where you categorize tasks by their level of importance as well as their level of urgency. So you're going to want to do urgent and important tasks as soon as possible. If a task is urgent but not important, you might want to delegate that if possible. And if a task is important but not urgent, then you can schedule that for later. If a task is neither important nor urgent, then it's best to just delete that or ignore it for now. And additionally, effective task management means being able to take bigger projects and break them down into small bite-sized tasks. So a task is really something you should be able to do in one sitting. These tasks could then be part of bigger objectives, and you could build a system like this. Because there's nothing more daunting than seeing a task that you know will take hours and hours of work, and it can be really demotivating and hard to start. So break that down into bite-sized pieces and then get started. So for example, if you're filming a YouTube video, if you would see an entry in your task list just saying upload a YouTube video, that might be a lot of work because you're going to have to script it, you're going to have to edit it, and then add all of the descriptions, make a thumbnail. But everything I just said, make that a subtask, and then suddenly making a thumbnail doesn't seem so bad. I can do that right now. I have half an hour time. And finally, when it comes to task management, consistency is key. Make sure you stay on top of your tasks. Make sure you periodically review your task lists to make sure you're getting everything done. And don't forget to celebrate your accomplishments along the way. So what are you waiting for? Start building a task management system to reduce your stress, increase your output, and just be more confident and relaxed with your abilities. So moving on, the 80-20 rule. Let me draw this for you guys real quick as well. So what exactly is the 80-20 rule? Well, it's a concept that suggests that roughly 80% of the results come from just 20% of the effort. That sounds pretty insane, but you'll see that it's quite often true. So if you do want to reach perfection and get 100% of the results, you're gonna have to put in 100% of the effort, of course. But how does this whole 80-20 system apply to productivity? Well, look at your to-do list for a moment, for example. Chances are there's a handful of tasks that have significant impact, while others could be maybe a little more trivial or time-consuming. The key here is to find those really essential tasks that will push you 80% of the way every single day and do those first. Identify those tasks. And after that, when you still have time, finish the other 80% of the tasks. But focus on those high return tasks and activities first, and then move on to the rest. That doesn't mean you should ignore the rest of the 80%. Just make sure you have your priorities straight. And remember, it's not about doing more, it's about doing more of what matters. So embrace the 80-20 rule and watch as your productivity soars to new heights. Now we've already reached our final point of the day. So this is something that you probably won't hear often from productivity gurus on the internet, but It's something I think is important to say as well, and that is having a good work-life balance, because nobody can power through 24 hours a day just working down their task list and working full power. No, you need a break as well. Go see your family, go meet some friends, go do something you enjoy. Maybe go meditate a little, find a new hobby, do some sports, do something that's not related to just work, because that's really important as well. Over the long term, if you want to be sustainably productive, you need to take breaks. That might mean taking 1 day off a week or 2 days off a week, and maybe a couple hours a day not thinking about anything work related, because otherwise you're destined for a burnout. And also make sure you eat healthy, you're putting the good nutrients in your body, make sure you get enough sleep. And additionally, I found that integrating mindfulness into your daily routine can really improve your entire mood and makes you less vulnerable to stress. And it's so vital to remember that the foundation of a productive life and getting where you want to be is a healthy body and a healthy mind. And you can achieve that by eating well, doing enough sports, drinking water, staying in contact with people, because the social aspect of life is super important too. So make sure you're building your work, your business, whatever you want to build on that foundation. Make sure that your foundation is solid, that you get enough rest, that you're ready to go every single day and give it your all. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. This video is a little different than my other videos, but I really enjoyed making it, and I am so grateful that I can share these productivity tips that I'm so passionate about with you guys, so that we can both improve and learn. And I wish you guys have an amazing day, and I'll see you next week again. Bye bye.